What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. And in this particular video, we're going to be talking about potential draft options at 15th overall for the Vancouver Canucks. Obviously, everyone is under the impression that the Canucks are going to trade their first round pick. I am as well, as especially if they're going to want that second line center. They're most likely going to have to trade their first round pick. But if the chance that they do not trade their 15th overall pick, we're going to look at some options that they could draft with that 15th overall pick. We're going to start off with one player in particular. We're going to break down an article written by our friends over at Canucks Army, in particular Dave Hall, who covers the Abbotsford Canucks as well as the upcoming prospects. But before we dive into the article, I'm going to go ahead and thank my sponsor, Uppbeat Energy. Thank you to my sponsor, Uppbeat Energy. Are you looking for an energy drink that is jitter-free, crash-free, no sugars, no artificial colors or dyes, and no calories? Then Uppbeat Energy is just what the doctor ordered. Uppbeat Energy has over 15 unique and custom different flavors to choose from. They got Galaxy Grenade, which is a blend of watermelon, guava, and lime explosion. Their Beach and Peach, which is a blend of mango, white peach cooler. Looking to give it a try? Get the starter sampler pack for $24. You get a shaker and 3 different flavors to try. Use code THELINECHANGE and save 10% on said purchase or any purchase that you desire. Right now, they have a buy 2, get 1 free sale going on for this entire month. Get it while you can. Use the code B2G1 when you have 3 tubs or more in your cart. Check out their website at www.dubby.gg. Once again, that is www.dubby.gg. Uppbeat Energy, be better, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. So let's dive into this article written by Dave Hall. It starts off by saying, we're roughly 1 month away from the NHL entry draft, where the Vancouver Canucks hold their first round pick for just the third time over the last 6 years. For how long, that remains to be seen, and yet we continue to push forward as if they will maintain their position and select a young and hopeful prospect with the 15th pick. So let's look at the target. The target is Carter Bear. Now, Carter Bear currently plays for the Everett Silvertips in the WHL, the Western Hockey League, the same league that the Vancouver Giants play in. He's 18 years old, is a left wing / center. He is 6 feet tall, weighs 176 pounds, shoots left, and he's from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. With this pick, we've already established that selecting a forward who shoots from the right is the best course of action. Yet Carter Bear, a left shot, is the type of asset worth making the exception for. Like our previous target, Brady Martin, they did do a option with Brady Martin. Perhaps we'll dive into that. It is from earlier this month, so we'll see if I make a video on it. But for this one, we're going to talk about Carter Bear. Bear brings a tantalizing work ethic, but also blends in some high-end offensive pedigree. Although his 6 foot, 176 pound frame may not be imposing enough to make him a true power forward, his sheer work rate and willingness to drive to the dirty areas give him the upper edge when it comes to fishing out pucks. Of course, at 18 years old, there's still plenty of time to grow and become a potential power tool in the coming years. Above all else, Bear's game is built on a relentless motor, which provides nightmares for opponents in all 3 zones. Taken in the 6th round of the 2022 WHL draft, the Winnipeg product has continuously risen up the ranks over the last year, thanks to a tremendous start to his draft-eligible campaign. Some project him as a top 10 hopeful. The issue? His season was cut short at 56 games, following an unfortunate Achilles laceration. While the injury isn't considered career-threatening, the unknown of what the incident will do to his overall mobility and long-term future casts a potential shadow on his eventual landing spot. Could he still be considered a top 10 pick? His skill set says yes, but the injury setback could pose the perfect opportunity for the Canucks to swoop in and grab a steal midway through the first round. Before the injury, he fired at an incredible 1.46 clip, third among draft eligibles with 40 goals and 82 points in 56 games. Even with his season cut short, he still led the Everett Silvertips in most statistical aspects, including goals, points, and power play goals. 40 goals, 82 points, and 14 power play goals, all the while finishing second in penalty minutes, 77, fourth in shots with 185, and was a plus 33 for the campaign. Offensively, he may not come as a pure sniper with a cannon-like shot, but Bear's ability to release pucks quickly and find soft spots in coverage makes him a challenging read for most goalies. His knack for driving to high danger zones, often outworking bigger defenders, leads to several avenues of getting pucks in the net. He's also not a traditional setup guy either, yet he uses his tactical hockey sense, soft hands, and puck protection to draw in defenders and create open lanes before sending the calculated dish to his line mate. Ultimately, not one singular area makes him an offensive threat, rather a medley of a few elements popped up with an incredible drive to make things happen and happen often. Bear becomes a one-man show when he gets going, and his game is defined by a raw work ethic that keeps the engine running. He doesn't take shifts off, whether in the defensive or offensive zone. He's willing to do what it takes to get the job done. Is that taking a hit to make the play? Is that driving in front of the shot? Or is that running a tireless forecheck to fish out pucks in the corner? It doesn't matter, he'll do it. Despite his average size, he plays with ferocity, racking up hits, nearly 2 hits per game, and various defensive metrics. From a coach's perspective, his game is relatively low maintenance. Bear is a player who can be placed in various high leverage situations and positions on the ice. He can play the cycle game, the crash and bang game, or the finesse game, while his high instincts make him an all-around 200-foot threat, including on the penalty kill. In our humble opinion, his work ethic is unmatched among his class, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a player more aggressive and successful off the wall. Technically, Bear is considered a winger. However, many scouts have alluded to his details and attention to the two-way game, which offers NHL center potential. So while that may never come to fruition, playing center full-time appears to be in the cards. The Achilles injury slightly shadows his mobility, which has never been considered elite, while his average skating stride has never impeded his overall ability to be effective. There is a lack of separating speed and ability to burn defenders off the rush. Luckily, Bear's game doesn't hinge on being the fastest player. Instead, his hustle and ability to outwork opponents make him a constant presence. Assuming he can recover and return to his pre-injury form, he offers a high floor as a middle six pest with top six potential. For a team like the Canucks, he could be a mid-first round steal, bringing energy, skill, and heart to a lineup as possible fan favorite for years to come. Bear's tantalizing skill set makes him a true unicorn in the 10 to 20 range, and his willingness to do whatever it takes, whether driving for a loose puck, sacrificing his body, or stirring the pot with physical play, sets him apart. Assuming he can recover and return to his pre-injury form, he offers a high floor as a middle six pest with top six potential. For a team like the Canucks, he could be a mid-first round steal, bringing energy, skill, and heart to a lineup as a possible fan favorite for years to come. It just repeated that same line that I said before this. But yeah, that's the article on Carter Bear. Having read this, I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely feeling what Dave Hall is saying about Carter Bear. This guy seems legit. Obviously, there's that big question mark when it pertains to that Achilles injury. Will it affect his speed? But he's definitely an option for them to draft. I will admit I haven't really, paid too much attention to this year's draft class outside of a couple. One of them obviously being Cole Reshney, who I believe it was, oh crap, why am I forgetting his name right now? But basically, one of the analysts, Craig Button, projected that the Canucks were going to pick Cole Reshney at 15th overall, who currently plays for the Victoria Royals. And him, I am really high on, especially after looking at what his stats were during the season. So I'm really high on Cole Reshney and him potentially being drafted by the Vancouver Canucks if they decide to keep that 15th overall pick. But at the end of the day, I do think they are going to trade it in order to acquire that second line center that they so desperately need, as everyone keeps saying. But anyway, Carter Bear is definitely a draft option for the Canucks if they decide to go down that route. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the potential for the Canucks drafting a player like Carter Bear? I'll leave a link to the article in the description so you guys can read it for yourselves. There's also a link in that article to them talking about Brady Martin. So if you guys want to check that out as well, that'll be in the in this Carter Bear article. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks and Abbotsford Canucks during this playoff run content, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on a single video. You can also find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X/Twitter at Line Change Van. You can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. Feel free to give us a follow on all our social media platforms. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. You can also, if you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Feel free to give us a follow on Spotify, and also feel free to leave us a rate and review. It is, of course, as I said, greatly appreciated. But as I said, it's going to do it for this video. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.